Good morning, people of God. Listen, I want to show you how to do something, um, particularly for the women. And that's because I had to help this young lady change her tire. Her tire went flat. She had all the tools that came with her car on the side of the road, but she was panicking. And so once we got her jack and everything out, I was telling her how to do it. And she wasn't strong enough to break the lug nut while the car was on the ground, because the lug nut was too tight, and she had her the lug nut wrench that comes with your car. So I got my impact wrench and I showed her how to do this. Now I want to tell you something. When women are becoming a target all over the place, okay, a lot of men, they already know this information, but as a man, if you have a wife, if you have a girlfriend, fiance, whatever, don't let your, how could I say it, pride or ego get in the way of teaching your woman or having her know how to do this stuff, because times are changing. Times are changing, and they are changing swiftly. Teach her how to do some of the things that you normally do, that you won't allow her to do because you'll do it for her, right? But at the same time, teach her. And the reason I'm saying all of this is because my neighbor, okay, I had a neighbor, God rest his dead, he's passed on, but I had a neighbor that he bought his home. His wife didn't have to work. She really didn't have to do anything. He was a good husband, in my opinion. He was a good husband. He provided. He bought their house, paid for. But he passed away. And these are older people, a little older, but he passed away, and it left her very sad. I saw how, because on where I live, I'm single, but everybody on my entire street is either married or in a relationship, okay? So for her, I saw how she went down to the point where she wasn't able to do anything for herself. He took care of everything around the house, all of that. She had to start selling stuff off. He had old cars and stuff like that. And then he had told me before he passed, he paid his house cash or whatever. So I'm assuming they didn't have much bills other than taxes, water, electricity, and normal stuff maybe that she wanted. But after he passed, she couldn't afford it. She told me she had to sell the house, and that's what she did. She sold the house. Eventually, she tried to keep it for as long as she could. And I guess once you reach a certain age and you haven't really had to work, it's hard to kind of reacclimate, get back, into society, because it's like, what am I really going to do that's comfortable for me? And then you have all these young supervisors and a lot of older people who are mature. They don't want to be dealing with these young supervisors with high school mentalities on these jobs and stuff like that. People going to make an income. They don't have time, to put up with all the drama that goes on in some of these jobs nowadays or whatever. So she ended up having to sell house, move back with her sister. That alone taught me a lot. So even though I'm a single woman, when I date men and I get to know men, part of what I look for, a lot of what I look for is their ability to complement the woman I am and help me grow, expound on what I know. And men that aren't intimidated because maybe I know how to do a few things that they may not know how to do, but learn and grow with me. Let's be better, but I never want to not learn or just lose a lot of the skills that God has blessed me to learn, because it has allowed me to be self-sufficient in a lot of areas that a lot of women are not. Okay, so that's to my brothers, teach the women. But I'm going to show you guys, ladies, men, probably a lot of men know this, and most men are built stronger than women, so most men won't have a problem using the old lug nuts, the old lug nut wrench, and putting their strength into it. But most of us women, I know me, you don't want to put your strength into busting 8 to 6, hey, let me use another word, that don't sound right. You don't want to put your strength into taking these lug nuts off. All right, but anyway, so here's what I use. It's called the impact wrench. Now this is a Milwaukee, which is one of the most, you don't have to get a Milwaukee. They can be pretty pricey. I caught this on a deal a while back, but during this time maybe they may still have some deals. But you can go right to my favorite store, which is Harbor Freight, and You can find you an impact wrench that will work for your car for less than 60 bucks. All right. And when you have an impact wrench, you don't even have to, when you have your jack and you put it on your frame of your car, or wherever your points are to jack your car, once you get the wheel off the ground, then you can use the impact wrench, or you can do it before you get the wheel off the ground. But when you have the impact wrench, you don't necessarily have to take the wheel off the ground. And all you need to do, you don't necessarily have to bust and loosen the nut while you have the wheel on the ground. And you want to find the correct sockets. Okay, you can get these from Harbor Freight as well. You want to find the correct sockets for your car. They're standard and metric size sockets. Okay, and so this right here is a 1316, and this is all you have to do. Put it. You take the impact wrench. You have it in a direction where the lug nuts go. You know, left is loose, right is tight. Okay, so I have this going to the left. And it's simple as that. Simple as that. And now, when you get ready to put your tire back on, I'm going to show you something. If most vehicle tires aren't heavy, this is a trailer tire, size 16, but most car tires aren't as heavy as this. But I'm going to show you a tool to help you lift it if it is a little heavy for you. And you can also get that from Harbor Freight. So stand by for just 1 second. Okay, so this right here is a pry bar. You can get this from Harbor Freight as well for like $5. And pretty much, if the tire is too heavy, you just put that on the ground and you can roll the tire over it, or you can take your feet and lift your feet up, see, and you've got the tire on there. Or you can take this, lift this up, turn the hub where you need it, turn the tire where you need it to be, and just simply slide it on there. And that's as simple as that, people of God. So when you put your lug nuts back on, you start them by hand, because you don't want to script the lugs in here. So you start each of your lug nuts by hand first. Got all those on by hand, and then you get your impact wrench, you flip it the other direction so it can go right, which is tight, and that's it. You just tighten each one up, but you go opposite. So I went up here, I went across here. I don't go in a row. That way it balances the tire back onto the hub correctly. All right. You don't want to hold it too long, because you could over torque it and break the lug off. That's it. Now, if you wanted to check the torque, that's just far beyond, but you don't have to. This is going to have it torqued right. You can go back over each one again just to make sure they're all torqued down, but you could get you a torque wrench and put the same socket on your torque wrench and go down each one to make sure they're torqued at the proper torque spec. And I personally don't ever do that. I just use my wrench to get them on there, get it snug down. And but there are torques, which is basically the level of tightness that anything has to be on a vehicle or any boat or anything like that. And you would have to look that up for your specific car. And that's pretty much it, people of God. That's all I wanted to share. And there's a lot of crime going on. There's a lot of crime happening now, and women are becoming a primary target for a lot of crimes. So this is the time to keep your head on a swivel, pay attention to your surroundings, Make sure that you have personal protection. Learn skills. This is also a time that we should be learning skills. Don't be afraid to learn something new that's been foreign to you. You know, America is changing, people of God. America is changing. It's all a part of biblical prophecy. So learn new skills, connect with new people. New people that, you know, may not have been the type of people that you'd see yourself connecting with, that knows something that they can teach you. You know, we're all in this race together. So anyway, I hope that helps somebody. Have a blessed day in the name of Jesus. And if nobody told you they love you, I love you. You are anointed, you are special, you are the light of the world. Don't let your light grow dark. Keep shining bright in the name of Jesus. His blood is the only blood that has power.